Okay. Um, it's interesting, your hair. Well, we know this from the story of Samson in the Bible, uh, that your hair acts as, it's death and decay that comes out of the body and is needed, for certain things. And, which is interesting. Yeah. But I guess the healthier hair you have, and the more hair you have, the healthier a person you are, the more virile you are. I guess that's the thing. And but with me, it also works. We know from ancient religious traditions, just like an antenna in prayer. Um, so colder people with lots of hair, we need lots of antennas. Just kidding around. But uh, yeah, Suzuki told me, you need to shave it, and it'll cut down a lot of the traffic and make it easier for you. And I'm like, what? Like that Matrix movie. Oh, when the computers come in, I'll plug into them. Okay, yeah. Samson and Jesus and the others didn't have Wi-Fi, but you had different large group things. Muhammad used to shave his head after certain things, yeah, for certain reasons when he got around large groups of people to help keep him focused on the right type of prayer and stuff. So it helps. So now, Suzuki explained that to me. I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there, uh, going, yeah, I am gonna keep it shaved. That'll help. The better, the less, the more I can tune out the crazy nonsense that's going on, and the better I can rest. You know, that's better. You know, you don't want to tune in to everybody being tortured and abused when you can't really do anything about it, right? Samson could get up and stop all the Philistines, right? Um, Earl can't get up and stop all the Philistines, right? I go on YouTube. Hey, let's live the Lord's Prayer. I don't want ice in our time. We need more. We need to close the borders. We need to do the immigrants. You need to live the Lord's Prayer and shut the fuck up, right? And so I tune all that shit out, and then focus on the technology, which is plugged into us all, and stuff, and affecting you all. But how it affects me is far more important than how it affects you, because I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer, and you participate in the popularity money genocide contest, and then say, I don't like the way this is going. It's like, really? Well, then stand up for the Lord's Prayer, you little cuntilingus face. Okay, well, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Okay. I'll take care of it. So, yeah. Shit. So, I'll just say, I wasn't being lazy. I was just tired and it was cold. And I just let my hair grow. And it was nice to know that I could still grow hair. And that it was soft, and then I had some, but that was it's weird. During the summer, if I let it grow out long hair, it hurts here and here. Okay. And then during the winter, it's near my genitalia and my armpits where it gets irritated. I think that's where the toxins are coming out at different times, and and you sweat more during the summer. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'm not really thinking about it that much, but I sit there and look at it and go, okay. So, but either way, it's I'll just keep it all shaved and soak, and then just try my best to relax through this hell until we're doing the right thing, because I'm the focal point of Do the Right Thing, and not a Spike Lee movie. So that's cool. That's nice to know. Yeah, it is nice to know because that was a long ass fucking time ago when they had that movie. And Do the Right Thing was that. No, School Days was the Wannabe and Jigaboo, right? And Do the Right Thing was Mookie and the Garbage Man through Danny Aiello's Pizza Place and the Ice Cubes with Rosie Perez. Okay. Sorry. It's Manhattan Transfer is the name of the group. Then it's Manhattan Transfer. I'm an excellent driver. I was out in the barn. I was listening to it. I was like, okay, it was a Manhattan Transfer. Killer Joe. Okay, so yeah. Uh, I don't know what more I'm going to put on the MP3. I get new things to put on there and stuff, and I think about doing different things. I have looked at the thing. I may go look at the editor thing for the game to connect to Chrome and see the things he's into and see if I can, you know, read a PDF and follow it and without, wanting to pick up a computer and throw it through the window. So, I'm a lot like my dad. He gets more cuss gadget than I do. Oh yeah, he hates them. And me, I'm like, why do we have to go through all this shit to get something done that should be fun, you know? And I think he's just, he was raised in this environment with these people, and then I'm also probably got to take into account the genetics and the brain activity of his biological father. So you have to understand. He'll give you a better understanding of what you're dealing with and how it's affecting the kiddos that you care about. Because we're not every man's the same. He wants the sunshine in his name. It takes every kind of people. Those passive, progressive commercials. Yeah, just stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Okay? Just stand the fuck up for the Lord's Prayer. Why you say, because it's vulgar, and of course if you don't, so stand the fuck up. Okay? Okay? And so, it's just horrible watching people sell things. When you have, the wisest man in the history, considered, the wisest man in the history of, quote, Western civilization is King Solomon, right? And when you go study a lot of the wisdom of Confucius and others, that 1 and 1 is 2. I'm an excellent driver. It's going to be they're very similar, right? Because right is right. Well, it's good. It's not a good idea. It's good relative forms of interactive communication. Ideas are literally forms of interactive communication. So it's not necessarily idea, meaning past, present, future operate at the same time. So, as I'm getting on this thing, I was like, ideas, Suzuki's been on me about that. It's like, no, it's not an idea, it's this. And I'm like, oh shit, he's right. So it's like, just because they invent a word like karma and idea doesn't mean that karma is real. Okay. And that an idea is real. It's just a form of relative interactive communications. I have this great idea, and you're going to make it into an invention and then blow everybody up with it. Right. Great idea, asshole. Okay, so, that lady, you have no idea. That's good. Good. No ideas is good. Okay. But being told what to do by people with ideas that think they have great minds, and you have a poor mind or an average mind, because if you have a poor mind, you're thinking of things, like shelter and food and clothing. And if you have an average mind, you're thinking of people that you need to get shelter and food and clothing for. You have to deal with great minds who are always thinking of ideas, right? And then I have no idea except for the fact that they just invented surveillance equipment to make it hard for you to have shelter and food and clothing for the people that you think about, you poor average mind people, right? And Jesus said, think of ideas so you can torture people with your grand delusions of grandeur. Yes, okay, and human authority. Right, so you got to understand, just because people say something, my mom had said that, poor minds think of things, average minds think of people, And great minds think of ideas. Really? Hey, Mein Kampf, you got an idea? Okay, roll. Wow. I just won an award and got lots of money. So you don't have to think a lot about things and people because that's all taken care of. Now you're just free to think of your fucking ideas, right? Murder. Right. So murderers don't realize that their ideas are about murder because they've been doing it for how long has this been going on? All your friends with the fancy persuasion won't admit that it's part of a scheme. But I can't help but have my suspicion, 'cause I ain't quite as dumb as I seem. Oh, you says you was never intended to break up our scene this way. I'm all right with it. All you idea motherfuckers. Yeah. I'm all right with having a poor average mind at this time. Yes. The only reason you'd need ideas is to help people with what they need. People with their things, right? Help people with their food, help people with their clothing, help people with their shelter, right? Because Jesus said, forgive debt and trespass. One faithful beast, your Jesus, he's wonderful. We love him. He's God, right? And so, Earl, it's true, So, boy, any of you assholes got an idea to help get you more things for people that use their ideas, unfaithful forms of alternative interactive communication, to feel great? Oh, fuck, we're stuck in the Sun Bowl again. Maybe we'll get Notre Dame to come again this year. Yeah. And then we'll build a statue of the guy who runs the child molesting bank erected by drug dealers that rape little girls to death and tag them, bag them, and rape them by using the equipment from the humane societies. Wow, how humane of us. What a society. I wouldn't want to be the president of Mexico right now, or the president of the United States, or the president of China, or the president of Russia, or the president of Ukraine. Working parts for the working man. Hey, give me more drones so I can blow up more Russians. Wow. What if one of them's like Nikolai Lenin? I know you want to kill all the Joseph Stalins, but are you killing the Joseph Stalins, or is the Joseph Stalins like, what happened to me? All right. When I was at Casamia, and all my friends from Iraq sat and told me, we were Shia students that were protesting the abuse that Saddam Hussein was doing to our people, because he's a Sunni put into power by the CIA. And he grabbed us all and put us in bunkers, and the military intel on TV said that they were the elite guard. And then on the news you'd watch, it's that they blew up and killed all these guys in the elite guard. And it wasn't. It was college students protesting the CIA running mass murder operations in Iraq that was mass murdering their families. And I went, oh, fuck. I worked in 3 maps with it. No, Ralph, you're a good man and a good father and a good person. Okay? We love you. You're one of us. You're a Muslim. We don't like George Herbert Walker Bush or Dick Cheney, right? That's who we hate. Okay? Well, me, I'm like Jesus, so I have to love Dick Cheney and George Herbert Walker Bush. I just have to get them out of my house in Casper, Wyoming. So if me and Tara are deciding we want to have sex or not, that's not Gordon B. Hinckley's business. That's not Ezra Taft Benson's business. That's not George Herbert Walker Bush's business. That's not Dick Cheney's business, and it's not Oprah Winfrey's cousin's business. Now there's always going to be those guys who think they players, but we can always check them and say, hey, that shit's inappropriate, like I did. I was for I told them, no, that ain't cool. What you said. Jesse never did that to me. And Jesse was a drug dealer and a pimp and embarrassed the hell out of his daughter. Okay. And she wanted her dad to be Uncle Alvin so bad, which I can understand. But what she needed to understand was Alvin's your uncle. Okay. The janitor at my mom's law firm, who's the taekwondo instructor for women to protect themselves from sexual assault, is your uncle. Okay. He doesn't work for Danny. Everybody else in the family does. Okay. And when the white guys were going to try to beat up Junior because they were angry at him and jealous of him and stuff like that, Alvin protected him. And Alvin wasn't the drug dealer. And Alvin wasn't the pimp. Okay? Alvin was a janitor that learned Taekwondo, probably, I think, in the military, and then used it to teach women how to protect themselves from sexual assault in Casper, Wyoming, which is very important. Okay, because that's be a rough area. But, some guys coming out of the bar. Remember that time, me and Rodney, when we got out of watching, it was what we were watching on fucking, what was the name of that movie? Red Dawn. And I was like, God, that shit could really happen. That's depressing, right? We came out of the movie theater and I was like, fuck. And we pulled up behind this restaurant where a cop and a biker were both fighting for their lives, really. They were fighting, and the cop was trying to stop the biker, and the biker was trying to grab his gun. And we rolled up on it, and Rodney shines lights on him. I threw the door open and was going to hop out and run and tackle the biker so he couldn't kill the cop, right? And Rodney, right when I did it, he slammed on the brakes real hard and slammed my shin inside the car door. Hard. Fucking hurt. So bam! And when that happened, that was shit, When that happened, they both looked at us. And the cop was able to get back and handle the situation. Because he was able to then go for his weapon and then tell the guy, hey, don't move, motherfucker, right? So just me stepping out of the vehicle and Rodney slamming my fucking leg in the car door, in the door frame, saved that cop from getting killed that night. Because I was going to hop out and I was going to tackle him. Okay. Rodney goes, what were you going to do? I was going to say, what if that was your dad or your uncle? What if that was someone in your family, that cop? What would you want somebody that came up and saw that happening to do? And he's got that to serve and protect stuff, even if he's wrong. If you can come up and tackle him and stuff, that we're here and it will keep him from killing the biker if if there was a business deal gone wrong or something like that. Even if I go interrupt the situation, there's me and you there. And so it's going to, it's going to radically change the whole entire situation. Someone might be murdered behind that restaurant. And you could do something about it. What are you going to do? Get your fucking door slammed, get your leg slammed in the car door. It fucking hurts. So I was mad at Rodney. I was like, what the fuck? What were you going to do? What do you think I was going to do? He knew that about me. That's why he liked me so much. That's why he wanted me to be his boyfriend. Because then the same thing happened at the store with the biker, And everybody had that about me, and he was just, oh my gosh, You'd be like having to touch, want to hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. And I was going out with the really cute little black girl who looked a lot like Jane Kennedy. Yeah, she was cute. Yeah. And Rodney set it up. Yeah. He brought Rhonda over, and and they were, wow. I was kind of stuttering. I was all excited because we just got back from the store, and Mom bought me who was it? Was it the Drifters' Greatest Hits? It was an album, and it was on sale, and it was wasn't the Drifters, Spinners. That was it. Spinners. It was the Spinners. She brought me Spinners' Greatest Hits, and everybody knows how much Earl likes Philip Wayne, right? So it wasn't the Drifters, it was the Spinners. Can't get no rest, don't know how I work all day. When will I learn? Memories get in the way. What was the other one? Could it be I'm falling in love with you, baby? And the one with Dionne Warwick, what was that? I never knew love before. Let me tell you. Yeah, that was on that too. Then came you. Then came you. I never knew love before. Let me tell you about. You know, it's Philip. Everybody like Philip Wynne, right? No. Okay. There's no accounting for taste, is there? Okay. So, but yeah. And what else was? Hand me down my walking cane. Hand me down my hat. You know, I wasn't as fond of that song, but I did. Rubber band first starts to jam. Rubber band, man. It was the Spinners, and I also think it had it did because that was after the summer we spent. So it also had the new songs with the new lead singer with the I'll keep working my way back to you, babe, and Cupid, draw back your bow. Right. So it had those on it too. So I was all excited because it had all the Philippe Wynne songs and the new ones. And so I was like, look what Mom got me, Sort of, it's got me a new spin. It's got the Spinners greatest hits album. And Rhonda already knew me. And Tara was like, this white guy's all excited about getting a Spinners album. And I was kind of stuttering. I was nervous. I thought you were, I was like, oh, it's funny. Yeah, she knew who it was. Guys, I was a star on the basketball team. Look at her. She knew who I was. Okay. She acted like she didn't know who I was. I didn't know who she was. No. She wore glasses, like Big Bird on Everybody Loves Chris. She was long and tall and skinny and wore glasses and stuff all the time. And then when she took her glasses off, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Yeah, she's cute. And she was very shy and very quiet. She did modeling stuff, but she was very shy and quiet. And so I did not know who she was. I was like, oh, and I was in ninth grade. She was in eighth grade. So I was like, I didn't know who she was. So yeah, it's hard when you got the raging hormones and stuff. I went through that stuff in Colville too. Oh yeah, big time. And but it's a difficult time. Being a teenager is rough, especially in the bowels of hell, being studied by the worst corporations in the history of the world. Why are they the worst? Because they should know better. We have the utmost scientists, the utmost this, the greatest this and that. And everybody knows how perfect the faith of the Messiah is. And yet we're in the year 2026 and no one that claims to be a great person in the world or on TV all the time doing great things is doing anything humble and beautiful. The only person doing anything humble and beautiful and all these great ways of communication now is 1322nd and me. And good old Suzuki, he's a helper. Yeah, it does feel better when I shave my head. So I got to make sure I keep. He said every 4 to 5 days I want you to shave. And I was like, until further notice, just keep doing it until this is done, until this is cleaned up. I'm like, okay. I just no, you're not gonna get you're depressed. I understand. Okay, just look at it as a routine of things you have to do because it's healthy for you, and what's healthy for you is healthy for the children that want to live the Lord's Prayer, and even if they don't know it, past, present, future operate at the same time. Okay, that's good. Yeah, he's a good guy. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace out.